Getting into the field of private investigations is tough, to be sure. I know there are many huge obstacles to overcome. I know this because, well, once upon a time I was in that same boat. I had zero experience and zero knowledge of the PI business, but I had a ton of desire and tenacity to make it work. That is the one thing you must have to succeed as a private investigator, folks. If you do not have the drive to get you through the day-to-day humps and the bumps, you will not be very successful in this industry. There are a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, and you must be able to thrive while you struggle. Running the business side of things as a private investigator is much like working in an investigation. Things just don't always, or perhaps I should say seldom ever do, just fall into place. Let's be real. If it was as easy and fun as TV depicts it to be, then everybody would be doing it. So as a new professional private investigator, as an aspiring PI looking to jump headfirst into your next big career, where do you start? How do you get the experience? What can you do to get up to speed as quickly as possible? Big questions there, and great questions too. Let's explore one of the possibilities to help you get started, and that is internships. First, let's explore what an internship is and what an internship is not. Generally speaking, internships are what you might refer to as professional learning experiences. Now, to be of value, an internship should offer practical and meaningful work-related experience to the intern. As well, the internship has to offer the business or the entity offering the internship value to. Some of those values can be brought to an organization offering an internship is new ideas from and the newly found energies brought by new minds and new people. A company may also use internships to help bring in and develop new talents and build potentially new employee pools for the future. So what might a good internship program for the private investigations industry look like? This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. I would envision a good PI internship to consist of part-time or full-time schedules. I would also think that an internship for a PI would consist of roughly 50% desk work and 50% field work. I would expect this internship to be structured in a way that would help the intern develop and achieve skills and basic business practices to include dealing with clients, some sales and marketing, and of course cover the desk work necessary like writing reports, reviewing discovery, planning and organizing a case, and other fun stuff like that. Then there would be the fieldwork side of the internship. Learning all about a lot of things is great, but nothing really beats good old practical experience where you get to apply what you have learned. Now, all of that sounds great, doesn't it? But how do you get an internship as a new or aspiring PI? Therein lays the crux of the situation, folks. I spent a good deal of time searching for internships for private investigators, and I found little to no help out there. Now, there are some large national firms out there that do offer what they call paid internships. But I hate to say it, from what I know of some of these programs, they are really just designed to take advantage of newbies in the industry, train them up quickly to do some surveillance, make some good money out there on their interns because they can pay subpar rates due to their inexperience, and they do very little to really train interns on the business side of things so they can go be successful on their own. Now, I hope I didn't step on too many toes there, but if I did, oh well. Sometimes the truth hurts. As with every industry out there, folks, there are people just sitting and waiting to take advantage of you. The lack of internships and quality training for new PIs is what drove me to create this channel, The PI Guy, and what drives me to get up every single day and work on more training videos for you. Now, a big challenge many new PIs face is licensing. Many states require experience for you to be licensed as a PI. And if you don't have the qualified experience, then you must work for a PI firm to gain that experience. This can lead to a great way for many new PIs to get that internship and gain that valuable experience. I would suggest you first check with your state PI association and see if they have a mentor or internship program where their members can sign up if they offer those programs. As well, your state PI association is a great place to meet many of those industry leaders where you may be able to get a foot in and see if they have such a program that would fit your needs. But be warned, don't expect to join your state PI association and have everything handed to you on a silver platter. You get out of anything the same measure as what you put into it, folks. If you pay your dues and you sit and you wait for it to happen, well, it may never happen. If you join your state PI association and you go to the meetings, you participate in the meetings, you take advantage of the training opportunities, and yes, some of these will cost money. And if you shake some hands, you do some networking, then opportunities will begin to arise. But what if there are no internship opportunities through your state PI association? Well, then you can do it the old-fashioned way. Polish up your resume, make sure it is clearly written with your goal of finding an internship in mind. Then get out your PI hat, put it on, do some searching, find those larger PI firms in your area, figure out who is the boss, and get to sending out some of the resumes with a personal cover letter. You see, folks, it's sort of like looking for a new job. You can go online right now and you can try to find a job for a private investigator, and chances are you will find little to no opportunities out there, save with some of the large national firms which we spoke about before. But if you do the work, you get your name out there, and if you are really lucky, they may need somebody just like you to help them out. Make sure your cover letter tells them exactly what you are looking for in an internship. Make sure you are targeting PI firms that work in the same professional areas that you have an interest in. Don't send a resume to a surveillance company for an internship if you want to get into criminal defense. Sure, they may do some of that, but it is not the primary focus. So the chances of them having a program for or needing a criminal defense intern is slim to none. Don't take the shotgun approach either and just send your resume to everybody. Focus your energies on the 20%, not the 80%, with the 20% being the most highly likely firms to be able to meet your expectations if they hired you as an intern. But then what? What if you do all of that and nothing? Well, I would suggest following up. Phone calls might be appropriate a couple of weeks after you've sent out your resumes. Most times you may have to leave a message, but hey, that resume may be sitting on their desk, got lost under some pile of paperwork that needs to be done, and guess what? That paperwork might be a perfect way to get an intern started. Outside of the PI associations and large PI firms, where else can you go to get an internship and that experience that you need? Well, you might try law firms. Yep, that's right. Many law firms will use interns for some of their paralegal work, office management, and other paperwork. While this isn't exactly PI work, it can give great insight to the legal industry. As a professional private investigator, that is exactly the industry you will be working in, the legal industry. You also have to remember most internship programs build on a person's abilities and interests. So if you got an internship with a criminal defense attorney who needed someone to help with filing and shuffling papers but showed your interest, your ability to learn over time, you may start to get some of those other easier assignments. They may have you go out and serve papers to witnesses. Not super exciting, but it's field work. They may have you schedule appointments with witnesses and do some preliminary fact-checking and information gathering while you have them on the phone. They might have you go out and take some photos of the scene so they have a better idea if they need to hire a PI in the first place. And that attorney may have you work with their private investigator as a liaison for passing information back and forth. What a great introduction and foot in the door would that be? Some attorneys even have their own in-house investigators, and I know some who prefer to bring in new PIs under their wing and teach them how to do investigations the way they want them done. So dust off that resume again, get your PI hat on again, and do some work identifying those law firms and those attorneys that you think may benefit from having you as an intern. Then get to sending out your resumes with a personalized cover letter. Then prepare to make those follow-up phone calls a couple of weeks later. Now, doing all of this may get you some phone interviews and may get you some in-person interviews. I always take the opportunity of an interview to work on my own interviewing and fact-finding skills. When you get these interviews, don't just sit there like a stick in the mud. Be interactive and proactive. Have a list of your own questions. If someone is looking to hire an intern in the PI field, they are looking for someone who fits the bill, not just a yes man. If you just tell me you really want to be a PI and you think you could really be good at it, in my mind, I'm saying, yeah, right. If you tell me what you have learned so far, what things you do to educate yourself about the profession, then I'm going to be much more interested in hearing more. And if you are asking good quality questions, doing your fact-finding, getting the information out of me, well, then you are one step closer to getting the job if I need someone. That is another key factor here, folks, much like in sales. Just because you have a great presentation, just because you have the best knowledge, the desire, or the product, or whatever, it means nothing if the prospect does not need your services.